Right then, Year 8, I am super grumpy because it's just not fair. Nothing is making me happy at the moment, and I bet lots and lots of you feel the same way. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to make a list of everything that's not fair in your life. Now, when you've done that, I have attached 2 videos for you. And once you've written down all the things that are not fair in your life at the moment, can you then have a look at those 2 videos and write a list of everything that's not fair from those 2 videos? And then I want you to compare your lists, which are longer. Your list of what's fair, not fair in your life, or the list from the videos. Well, how did you get on? I am hopeful that the list from the videos was longer, because I think we can all agree, even though coronavirus and lockdown has been rubbish, our lives are not quite as bad as that. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put the date that you're working on and the title, which is below. What was life like for a child worker in the Industrial Revolution? And you can write that on paper, in your exercise book, whatever you are working on. And you can see there I've put some pictures, okay, of people who had to work in the Industrial Revolution. And when I say child workers, I'm not just talking about people who are under the age of 18. Look at that picture on the right. She's under 3. So when we talk about child workers, just be aware of that. Well done. We've done our starters. So we're going to start with task 1. And what you need to do on this one is to read the information sheet for me. Now, if there's a bit too much information on the first sheet, use the send sheet. That is absolutely fine. And once you've done that, can you have a go at the tasks below? So the first one you're going to do is, using the information, is going to write down all the ways in which pauper apprentices were treated badly. And if you wanted to, you could also include some of the ways from the videos that you watch. You could rewatch the videos if you wanted to. Now, the second task is, I want you to write down the reasons why these dangerous, unhealthy and harsh conditions were so common in factories at this time. Why were people, particularly the factory owners, not making the effort to change this? And then the third part of task 1 is to write down the ways in which Robert Owen, and that's his picture there at the bottom, how did he treat his factory workers differently? Why did he do this? Task 2, Year 8. So, what I would like you to do is to make a 24-hour timeline of a typical day in your week. And I'd like this to be before lockdown, okay? So, this could include how long you sleep. It could include times for travel. So if you've chosen a Monday, travel in school. If you've chosen a weekend day, maybe you play tennis or you always go shopping. Any breaks you have, so those are going to be your food breaks, as well as just sitting and chilling. Any spare time and what you do with that. Do you see people? Do you play an instrument? Do you play sports? Anything like that? What work do you do? So would it be, if it's a school day, you could think about the lessons that you might be doing, and then homework in the evening. If it's a Saturday, do you have a paper round or something like that? And then at the end, I want you to tell me something that a factory boy or girl in the Industrial Revolution would not have done. Something in your day that's really, really basic. You probably don't even think about it, but that someone, a child your age or younger, in the Industrial Revolution would not have done. Task 3. So, the comparison task. Now, You've had a look at what a child's life in the Industrial Revolution is like. You've looked at your life, you've kind of reminded yourselves what you might do in 24 hours. What I want you to do now is the comparison task, and I want at least 5 sentences, more if you can, each one stating how your day is different from a child in the early 1800s. Now, I've put some pictures on there to kind of prompt you, but they don't have to be these. You can use these or you can ignore them. You could use some of them and not others. That's absolutely fine. But think about how your life is different from where you sleep, from where you live, from what you wear, from where you go, from who is around you, from what is expected of you. Any of those, anything you like that shows it different to a child in the 1800s. And last but not least, my extension task. Now, as you know, scholars, I expect you to do this. As you also know, everybody else, I would like as many of you to do this as possible. It is going to benefit you, okay? Source analysis is always a good thing to do, and this is a really, really famous source. So, source A is from the Sadler's Report, and this was a collection of lots and lots of different interviews with people who worked in factories. And I'm not going to tell you any more than this, but this was one interview. It's not the whole Sadler's Report. It's not actually the whole interview, from a lady called Elizabeth Bentley. Now, at this time, she is 23 years old when she is interviewed. So the tasks I'd like you to do, once you've read it, are to write down 3 words or phrases that a reader of this report might feel. How did you feel when you read it? Now, Michael Sadler was accused of exaggerating some of the interviews, making them sound worse than perhaps they were. Does that mean it's not useful to historians? If it's been exaggerated, can we still use it? Why? And then, if you had source A, this is your starting point, and you want to find out more about factory life in the 1800s, what sort of things might you look for to follow up on source A? Well, it's been lovely being here and talking about how much worse life was in the Industrial Revolution. I feel much, much better, and I hope you do. And as normal, Year 8, once you finish the work, can you either upload it onto Show My Homework or email your teacher? All our email addresses are there. Any issues, send one of us a note on Show My Homework or email us. Thank you very much. Looking forward to marking your work.